Deval, and for the very warm introduction, and to all of you for the warm welcome. We are blessed indeed to have had a rich and deep cadre of candidates run for the Democratic nomination. And before I ask you for your support and your hard work over the next few weeks for Niki Tsongas, I want to congratulate again Jim Maselli and Barry Feingold and Jamie Eldridge and Eileen Donahue for running wonderful, upbeat, positive, serious campaigns. Have you noticed, by the way, that Republicans these days have a habit of saying one thing and doing something else? They say they're about small government, and then they bring us the largest increase in the size of the federal government in history. They say they're about restrained spending, and then they run up debt so deep and so large, leaving our grandchildren holding the tab. They say they're about fighting terrorists, but they ignore the terrorists in Afghanistan who attacked us and take us under false pretenses into Iraq. They say they want to spread freedom, but they govern us with fear, predicting attacks like last summer based on the gut feeling of the Secretary of Homeland Security, and shouting down any contrary view as unpatriotic. It's time for a change, ladies and gentlemen. The change has got to come from us, because we, regular people of every political background, keep falling for what Republicans in Washington say and not holding them accountable for what they do. There is a great deal at stake in this election. But if you listen closely to the two candidates, to the substance, they will sometimes sound a lot alike. And that's because if you are a Republican today in Washington, you run as, or rather if you are a Republican running to go to Washington, you run as fast as possible away from the administration in Washington. And you try to blur the difference between that administration and Democratic principles and ideals. These candidates, both say they want better health care. But only one candidate is willing to stand up to the president's threat to veto the children's health care bill, passed overwhelmingly with the support of the Congress. They both say they want real immigration reform, but only one candidate in this race is willing to commit to a plan, one that doesn't demagogue anyone and that can work. They both say, I've heard them both say, that they want an end to the war in Iraq. But one candidate wants to keep the troops there indefinitely. Does that sound like an end to the war in Iraq to you? No. And the other candidate, our candidate, is ready to make that hard call now. In a funny way, both candidates sound like Democrats, but only one is one. Only one is. And that candidate is Niki Tsongas.